Adam and Eve. The story. The beginning of this series, the beginning of the Bible, the beginning of time. God created everything. The heavens and earth, the sky, the sun and moon and stars, all bodies of water, seas, lakes, rivers, mountains, all animals, and finally humans. Adam and Eve are the first humans created by God. Adam from the dust of the earth, and Eve from one of Adam's ribs, and were both placed, lived, and worked in the Garden of Eden, paradise. Before creating Eve, God commanded Adam, "From any tree of the garden you may eat freely, but from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat. For in the day that you eat from it, you shall surely die." Some point after Eve was created, the serpent initiated a conversation with her, convincing her and afterwards convinced her husband, Adam, to do the same, to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, the tree forbidden by God. Following this, both Adam and Eve hid from not only each other, but also God. After they confess, pushing blame on each other and also the serpent, God brings his judgment on all three. To Adam he convicts him to a life of hard manual labour. To Eve he convicts her to difficult and painful childbirth. To the serpent he first convicts it to the lowest status among the animals, and secondly he convicts the serpent to a lifetime of hostility and separation between the serpent's seed, and her, Eve's seed. Lastly, God banished all three from the Garden of Eden, placing the cherubim and the flaming sword at the entrance to keep them out. However, before Adam and Eve left, God made them clothes out of animal skins, since before they were wearing fig leaves, and before that they were naked. Digging deeper. Going back to Genesis chapter 1, verse 27 says, God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him, male and female he created them. Many believe the own image part refers to the Trinity, Father, Son and Spirit. I would personally add the angels to this as well, but that is just my take. This shows that humans were created to represent God here on earth, continuing to cultivate and create in his good world, with him holding their hand as they do so. Moving on to chapter 2, verse 20 is the first time the man is referred to as Adam. The name Adam could be derived from the Hebrew word dam, which means blood. Another Hebrew word is Adamah, which is the feminine form of Adam, and this word Adamah means ground. These two words, dam and Adamah, being connected to Adam makes sense in the context of Genesis 2. Adam was formed from the ground, dust or earth, recorded in verse 7 of this chapter. He had blood running through his veins, keeping him alive, connecting also to the breath of life recorded in the latter part of verse 7. Finally, chapter 3 begins by introducing the serpent. This character has been interpreted as not any ordinary snake or other reptile, but Satan, or at least a demon. This is believed because it tempts Eve directly and Adam indirectly to turn and sin against God and his commands. This is also seen in Luke chapter 4 verse 1 up to verse 13, when Satan tempts Jesus in 3 different ways. However, unlike Jesus, Adam and Eve give into Satan's lies and face the consequences of this decision. Another interesting verse is verse 15. "And I will put enmity between you, the serpent, and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He shall bruise you on the head, and you shall bruise him on the heel." This verse is understood to be a prophecy pointing to Jesus, with the serpent's seed being Satan and his followers, and the woman's seed being Jesus and his followers. The last part, "He shall bruise you on the head, and you shall bruise him on the heel," indicates Jesus' crucifixion. Satan and his followers thought they stopped Jesus when they saw him hanging on the cross. Even his own followers believed this when they saw their king was bruised. However, when Jesus rose, Satan saw that he was the one bruised. What to learn? What should we take away from the story of Adam and Eve from Genesis chapters 1, 2 and 3? I believe the main message we should take is the importance of listening to God's commands and trusting in his ways. God had given Adam and Eve the opportunity to live and raise a family in the Garden of Eden, a paradise filled with lush forests, crystal clear streams and lakes, and every kind of wildlife imaginable, not just for them and their family, but for all generations to come. Unfortunately for them and all humankind, Adam and Eve fell into Satan's temptation to eat from the tree of knowledge, and were removed from the garden. However, through Jesus' death and resurrection, God has given all those who believe in Jesus a second chance to return to paradise and live with him forever, as promised in Isaiah, 2 Peter, and Revelation. This shows even when we fail and fall into Satan's temptations, God will always give us a way to return to him and build a relationship that will last for all eternity.